Hello everybody, welcome back to an episode of Blue Archive. In the last part, I think we did an event story. I can't remember can't remember who it was with, but we did some new events, all that kind of fun jazz. Now we're off to some new story, a whole new chapter main story quest. So we're gonna check it out and see what it's about. Been a little bit since we've had. Oops, that's something I wanted. No, let me go back. No, I don't want to be here. It's been a while since I've actually had we've had some main story here. So let's check it out. It's a whole new crew. So let's check it out. Let's see what this is about. I have absolutely no idea how many episodes there are, or how many chapters. So we'll just see. Chains. We're going to the Arius, apparently. What's going on? Someone's out of breath. Who's this? What's going on? Oh, she's down. Maybe I should take a break. She sounds exhausted, whoever she is. I figured that as long as I made it here, things would work out one way or another. They have to. It has to be different outside. After all, if this was the path the squad took, surely even I can follow in their footsteps. Didn't start raining. I'm so cold. I can't feel my fingers. Just keep moving. You haven't been paid for 5 days? Well, we never signed a contract, so as far as I'm concerned, you haven't worked at all. Ugh. Arius? Nah, haven't heard of it. So you mean to say you don't have any academic records at all? Huh. I can work with that. Oh boy. Hey. Got some under-the-table work for you. What do you mean? What do you mean you won't? Aren't you used to getting your hands dirty? How did I know? Do you think I really would have hired you without a background check? I have my ways of getting intel. You're trying to go clean? That's why you won't? Ha! Look, kid. There's only one thing you're good for, so you might as well make the most of it. What? You think some ice cream shop is gonna hire you to serve good, upstanding citizens? Get out of my sight! I've got no use for someone like you. Ugh. It was all a lie. Nothing good would ever come my way. Nothing good would fall into my lap so easily. Nothing good ever happens the way you want. Dreaming is free, but the consequences of reality are inescapable. There is no paradise for runaways. I knew that. I did. But I still held on to my dreams. I fervently grasped what they call hope. It was all just a dream. Uh-oh. Red text. Huh. I made it back. I'm sure nothing's going to change, but I feel I'm a little better at least. Arius Satellite School. The place where I was raised. Where I was forced to endure. Where I was educated. Our school. You're back. Huh? You probably have a lot to say, but for now, go get some rest. Is that Subaru? Yes, that's me. That was what Kakesh. What the fuck kind of name is that? Kakesh Kakahashi Subaru Kakahashi. Tachigi Maya, right? You don't have anything to worry about. Even if the world was abandoned you, I haven't. Arius hasn't. Yes. Welcome back to our Arius. I don't know. I don't like that I don't like that red text. That's not good. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't like where that goes. I don't know where that. I don't like those vibes. Hey, it's Ifumi. It's been a while, Sensei. We need to see each other more often, or I might forget what you look like. Hey, it's Azusa. Will you? Interesting. I committed the shape of Sensei's face and the point of their ears to memory. Recalling a target's appearance perfectly is all part of completing my mission. What are you even saying? Stop making it sound like you're going to assassinate Sensei. Man, I guess it only makes sense that the Makeup Work Club's coming back because this is involving Arius. It gets in what happened during the whole treaty nonsense. I guess it makes sense that these guys would be coming back. But rather than such violent intentions, perhaps the nature of her mission is that of a late night call for makeup classes, of course. Now what are you saying? Are you incapable of holding back your lewd tendencies for a single moment? Are you cursed? Will your tongue fall off if you don't talk about it at least once a day? Death penalty. Weird expressions are also illegal. I've just decided. Well, it would be nice to see you again before our schedules pick up next week, Sensei. Next week? What's going on next week? I guess you wouldn't know. Eternity Comprehensive Exam season is going in full swing next week. So we really need to start studying. Like, really badly. What's the Eternity Comprehensive Exam? The famous Eternity Comprehensive Exam. Infamous. It's a series of standardized tests meant to evaluate students' knowledge on all fronts. Linguistic proficiency, health education, health classes, and... oh, health education. As the name suggests, it's a comprehensive exam of all subjects we're expected to know. I don't think there's that many sections on health. Ugh, wait, I get it. This is different from your regular exams. I'm also curious about this detail. I learned what supplemental exams were from before, however. The main difference is that the test writers of the Fraternity Comprehensive Exam aren't from Trinity. Can't remember exactly why. Something about credibility? Objectivity? That's correct. There's too much potential for bias if the questions come from within Trinity. It could even provoke people to ask, how is it fair for the person who wrote the exam to take that same exam? And it's a small concession, but the comprehensive exam has the advantage of not including chapel studies. I get it now. It's a mock national exam. Huh? What's that? Something even worse than the comprehensive exam? I guess I get it. Based on my analysis of Sensei's expression, they did not particularly enjoy it. I understand. Sensei's trying to assure us that everyone dislikes taking exams regardless of who they are, myself included. You find that hard to believe? Sensei, despite your skewed perception of me, I truly am just an ordinary high schooler. Ordinary? Well, if you're offering a special late-night exam proctored by you, Sensei, that I'd enjoy immensely. You better stop it, or else. Oh dear, Kuharu. Or else what? Death penalty! Understood. Ifumi, there is no danger of failing mission comprehensive exam. Yeah, since Trinity isn't proctoring this test, it won't affect our grades. Well, that's all the more reason for us to do our best. Trinity students are the elite! We can't come second to any other school. Also, you won't technically fail anything, but if you completely bomb, you'll have to participate in makeup study sessions. So even if I can fail, I can still fail. You could put it that way. They just don't want to punish the struggling students too harshly. Kind of like what we did with the Makeup Work Club. I know it's called a study session, but they don't expect you to do much more than that than to show up. But no one wants a study session to infringe upon what precious a few hours we have to ourselves after school, do they? We're going to be the study hard club and avoid makeups this time. Right. Well said, Sensei. In the event that I end up being the only one to fail the comprehensive exam, will you be the teacher in charge of my makeup study session? Just imagine it. Or just image it. An empty classroom with just us two. It's so hot. It's hot, so you open the window and the evening breeze grazes over us. Being the troublesome student I am, I gaze out at the warm flush of the setting sun. Sensei comes close to chastise me. Strong breeze comes in. Sensei instinctively reaches out to protect me. Two of us eye to eye, nose to nose. And even we're unconscious of how we're leaning in. Oh boy. What? Huh? You are banned from speaking. Banned! Huh. Now that they bring it up, I should see how everyone else is coping. The vigilante crew doesn't rest, even during exam season. Of course not! Academics and public safety are equally important. Behold, this is the indomitable will of the vigilante crew. You'll never bend our principles. Right, Suzumi? God, we haven't seen Suzumi focus on a focal point in the story in ages. I don't know exactly what principles you're referring to. Regardless, studying is the inherent responsibility of any student, so I have to agree. Sorry? Just seeing you makes me feel lighter inside? I don't know what that means. Me neither! But there is no bad in something good. It's Ui. Yui. Eh? Oh, it's you two. I thought some visitors snuck in. Sensei's just here to check on us since it's exam season. The linguistics on these tests are so rudimentary. I hardly need to study. There's other subjects too, Yui. And that's why it's called the comprehensive exam. Books cover all sorts of subjects, so I'll be fine. You'll be fine, even with math. Eh? That's so good, President. Just like how being a picky eater isn't good for your health, being a picky reader is bad too. Are you good at math, Shimiko? Me? I'm a first year, so the scope of my test will be much less difficult than the President's, who's a third year. How unfair. Hey, Sensei. We did all get together to study for the comprehensive exam. Listen well, brave students. When our sugar levels get low, so does our brain function. And we should only refuel with the most premium fuels, glucose. Therefore, indulging dessert during this critical time is not only romantic, but completely necessary. Exactly. What is studying without snacks? This is why we keep you around, Natsu. And now we're here. Sorry, Sensei. You even made time to come check on us. In a way, it's nice to see that some things never change. Naturally, Sensei, our remedial night rises to the challenge, whether it be exams or aid. In fact, this comprehensive exam is merely aid given new form. I don't quite follow. Both exams and aid are a benefit to the people. We must uphold our passion and dedication to providing aid by following its principles in all its circumstances. Thus, aid comes in many forms, such as reaching out a helping hand with pure intentions rather than selfish desires, or standing against injustice by any means. This is also a manifestation of aid. Consider the corrupt medical supplier who created a subpar product which failed to properly disinfect and treat wounds in an attempt to cut costs. By meting out their punishment, I am aiding both them and the general populace. All paths lead to aid. Thus, this exam is also aid. That's one way to think about it, I guess. What exactly does aid mean? I suppose it's what the remedial nights valued above all. You know, I was wondering why the cutting-edge medical advances Journey has made aren't being tested on the exam. Oh, maybe just because our edge is just a little too sharp, Hanai. Sensei, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm happy you wanted to check on us, but... Take a few deep breaths, Tsurugi. Please compose yourself in front of Sensei. Yeah. Thank you, Sensei, for your consideration. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your studying. Not at all. Proper breaks are an essential part of the process. Besides, eating and patrols, we've done nothing but studied the past few days. We get less free time than most, so we end up having to cram in what we can, whatever chance we get. She's totally right, but you don't have to be so worried, Sensei. Everyone here was well aware of what life in the Justice Task Force would be like when they're signed up. Yes, resolutely marching forward on our chosen path, no matter the obstacles. That's what makes us who we are. Speaking of obstacles, I'm still stuck on this part. Can you explain moral relativism to me? It's a little hard for me too. If something is moral or immoral only relative to a particular standpoint, then can you really define anything as moral? It's one of those things that makes it feels more complicated the more you think about it. Well, let's try starting with the memorizing the theory. Oh God, I'm already lost. You lost me at relativism. Ah yes, I plan to hold study sessions in the large auditorium. Attendance is mandatory for all sisters. What if someone studies better alone? I'm failing to understand. We at the Sisterhood strive to live a life free of shame and sin. As students, studying is one of our prime directives. What reason do they have to shy away from the sisters in a time of need? I trust the Sisterhood and its members with my very life. And regardless, I have assured them that they may schedule a consultation with me to properly discuss any apprehensions they may bear. I shall do all I can to put them at ease. I don't like the look on your face. For most sisters, a one-on-one consultation with you is... Oh boy. Quite the opportunity, yes, Sister Hinata. I must say, always seek new ways to embody the compassion, upright principles we preach unto others. Oh boy. As you say, I suppose. Oh boy. I convinced Sakurako to ease up a little bit. And in the end, we made the study session optional for all sisters. Hinata and Mari really have it rough. Ah, Sensei, hello. Ah, well, may have been procrastinating on studying a little bit. Truly? What treat us to deserve if you do well? I'll hold you to that. Me too. I'll even study in advance this time. Do you mean you'll rest your eyes after taking one page of notes again? I absolutely saw you fall asleep too. Oh boy. I smiled at the girls' banter and went on my way. I was surprised by two students, both clearly anxious. Sensei? Do you have a second? Ooh. How do we start? Welcome, Sensei. So, this is our room. So what's going on? Don't be shy. Wait, I forgot. Forgot what? Sensei, we're really sorry. But could you actually wait outside just for 5 minutes? I know this probably seems weird. Please, just 5 minutes. Oh boy. I said I'd do as he asked and stepped outside into the hallway. After a while... You can come in, please come in now. Hello again, Sensei. We didn't mean to surprise you. In fact, we mean no harm at all. I suppose, according to Trinity, you could call us Arius transfers. Ah. You might not remember about Madame and everything that happened, but one day she just disappeared completely. We were happy she was gone, but also at a complete loss. You could feel the attention everywhere you went. What would happen to Arius? That's when we met. Them. Around here should be okay. Your uniform? Trinity? please. Shh. Yes, I am. I didn't mean to scare you. I was supposed to wear the Tea Party uniform instead of this, but... Tea Party? What is that? It's something like a club in Trinity that really appreciates tea time. What? We could transfer to Trinity? But for us, Trinity... Yes, I understand where you're coming from. I swear my intent isn't to pressure you in any way. I'm only reaching out my hand as an option. You could take my open hand and start a new life at Trinity. But you don't have to. No matter what you wish to do, it's your choice. This is so sudden. I understand. I'm sure this was the last thing you were expecting. You don't have to answer right away. There are people at Trinity and the Tea Party who sincerely want to bridge the gap between us. Not a lot, but enough. That means anything too public would be difficult. Even if we could transfer, and even if there was some people who would welcome us, would the other students be okay with us? You stumbled upon the crux of the problem. You see, Trinity is an amalgamation of countless factions and clubs. If you do choose to come with us, you'll be labeled as a foreign transfer student in your records. We'll say you come from somewhere far away in the countryside. With the situation being what it is, that's the best we can do. I meant it earlier when I said you could take your time. Think on it, and if you make up your mind to come, please call this number. I don't like where this is going. We thought about it. We really thought about it. Everything was uncertain. Our situation, Arius, Trinity, and... But after all that thinking, we couldn't help but feel that anything would be better than what we had. And so you ended up here. Yes. And there's a lot of other Arius students who transferred too. Although they mostly first or second years. I see. What a difficult journey. Been through a lot. Not at all. Honestly, none of it feels real. At Arius, even owning a blanket was a faraway dream. Here I have a bed. It's so soft and fluffy. Well, Arius did have beds, but we weren't allowed to use them. Because comfort would make us weak. I'm sorry, both of you. I bow my head in apology to the two girls. What? Why would you apologize, Sensei? Right. And wait, it's thanks to you that we're even here at all. I shouldn't have neglected Arius after everything that happened. Still, hearing that makes us... This isn't why we asked you to come here. The shock of seeing Arius student in Trinity, I'd forgotten that they wanted to ask me something. What did we want to talk about? I'm so glad you can finally ask. So, our question is, what is a comprehensive exam? Huh? Actually, more specifically, I was wondering what an exam is, period. We didn't do this kind of class studying back at Arius. And we didn't really think we could ask the Trinity students. They all seemed like they knew exactly what it was without anyone explaining it to them. That's why we were hoping you could help us, Sensei. Because you're a teacher, right? Right, I get it now. This is our first time meeting, right? Of course it is. Since we're from Arius, after all. We shouldn't speak negatively about ourselves like that. We can try. In front of you, at least. Without thinking, I reached out my hands to pat their heads. The Arius students recoiled back in fear, instinctively cowering from my outstretched hand. Sorry, Sensei, we didn't mean... It's because... We don't think of you like that, at all. It's not... Hey, don't worry about it. I didn't take it that way. But... It's okay. Everything's gonna be okay now. Hesitantly, the two shuffled ever so slightly closer to me. Seeing them up close, I suddenly realized just how small the Arius students I'd encountered until then were, especially in comparison to their peers. After helping them relax a little, I explained the meaning of importance of behind exams. I see. So even though evaluating people based off a single test result might not be the best method, it can still help students review and learn material. You know, we actually did have something like that in Arius. Like figuring out how many bullets were loaded based off the magazine's late, or what to do with close quarter combat situations. The methods for destroying halos, and so on and so forth. Hey! What? Sorry, Sensei. I shouldn't talk about that so casually. You were curious about how we've been adjusting? Well, we've got to have a school life here. Feels weird to be saying that. Are we having fun? Yes, a lot. More than anything, we've been really surprised over and over again. There's no patrols or drills, and you won't get put in solitary confinement if you make a mistake. And Sensei, get this! They even feed you 3 times a day here. It can get hot here too. I was really surprised by that, because it was always cold in Arius. Has everyone been treating you well? Yes, very well. I think we transferred from the countryside after all. In fact, they can be so nice. Sometimes I didn't know what to do with myself. We went to this place called a cafe with some Trinity students a few times. And they ordered all these expensive things off the menu like before batting an eye. I could barely keep mine from popping out my head. There's so many different types of coffee and cakes. I'm still learning all of them. They sure are delicious. And expensive, though. That's why we got part-time jobs, too. So we can afford to go to the cafe. It's cool to be working. I think I just learned just as much work as I do in the classroom. Like how light your wall can feel halfway through a pay period. That doesn't change even as an adult. Really? Thought you would be like, really extraordinary though, Sensei. Like super rich without a care in the world. Living is living no matter who you are. I kind of like the sound of that. Yeah, that does sound nice. Sensei, you probably already guessed this, but not everyone transferred to Trinity. Yeah. I don't know how well I can explain this, but there are some students who decided to stay. There were a lot of different reasons, but I think at the core of it, accepting Trinity in the outside world was just too big of a change. I realized something after transferring here. So much of your life depends on where you were born. In one place, people will be lucky to have one meal a day, while right on the other side, people sit and enjoy expensive desserts at cafes and restaurants. If you think about it, our 2 schools could have been really close in another world. We don't know what happened to the students who stayed behind. We have our guesses, but they're just guesses. We heard some rumors that those students have cut ties with the outside world completely. Now they're undertaking some guerrilla operation. Sensei, we've learned that everyone comes from different places, and that we should respect people's opinions as best we can. Even though we know that, we can't help but worry about the ones we stay behind. Because we still have bad dreams about Arius and everything that happened. Sometimes we wake up in the middle of the night screaming. We start keeping track of who wakes up the most and who screams the loudest. I'm winning right now. Basically woke up at the same time that last one. I woke up a whole minute before you. Sensei, this might sound strange, but earlier when you were explaining what an exam is, I just thought that it'd be nice if everyone else had the chance to take an exam too. Wait, really? I know it's a little weird. No, I thought the same thing. Why do you feel that way? Why do you think you felt that way? It's a little hard to explain. I think that seeing the students at Trinity doing regular things like going to classes, getting ready in the morning, taking exams, it felt nice, you know? It felt like things students our age should be doing. Sometimes I hear the Trinity students complain about how much they hate studying. We do find it really hard, and all around foreign, but we couldn't say that we hate it either. Studying is a student's responsibility. We've heard that a lot. We've heard that here a lot. Sensei? Sensei? I was so proud of them that I just couldn't stop myself from patting their heads. Sorry. Just hearing you two say that made me. It's okay. We really meant it. I wouldn't mind if we stayed like this. Just a little longer. So, someone's hand can be this warm. It's really gentle. Anyways, you want Arius students to have the opportunity to study, right? And to try taking a test. Exactly. That's the idea behind it, but there's been something on my mind, and maybe I'm just overthinking it. Well, I guess I should just ask. This test's full name is the Trinity Comprehensive Exam, right? I know that Trinity isn't the one who wrote it, but... Ah. The students who stayed in the Arius, out of their intense hatred of Trinity, probably wouldn't like the name Trinity Comprehensive Exam, would they? None of them would have ever studied here before either. On top of that, I heard Arius isn't accepting any visitors right now. Maybe if they could hold classes at Arius like they do here, if that was even more remotely possible, it would have happened by now. Don't sweat the small stuff. Really? Does that mean you really think there's a way? Because you're an adult, a teacher. You must know all sorts of things we don't know. Finding impossible solutions is part of an adult's responsibility. For some reason, even though I don't really get it, I still feel like I can believe in you. Asking you for help really was the right choice, Sensei. I also have one more request for you, if that's okay. Could you please look after the squad members for us? Them! What are they up to? Where rivers meet. Okay, everything is ready. The number you had dialed is unallocated. Please leave a message after the tone. You gotten better at making jokes, Atsuko. I appreciate you noticing, Sensei. I learned to answer this away to phone numbers I didn't recognize. Of course, I recognized your number right away. Now, allow me to greet you one more time. Hello, Sensei. How have you been doing? Greetings are important, aren't they? Yes, I'm happy you remembered. To your first question, I've been well enough, one could say. I'm still in hiding, and I have to be wary of my surroundings. Even though I need to be careful whenever I venture out, I've found it nice to be able to enjoy my free time as I please. And also, I've been well. What about you, Sensei? Is everything okay? I know this is out of the blue, but what are your thoughts on tests? Tests? You sound just like a teacher. No, please don't apologize. I meant it in a good way. It was very... you. A test is an evaluation of what I've studied, yes? I only know of it conceptually. Why do you ask? Again, I know this is very random, but if you had the chance to take one, what would you do? Like an exam to test your knowledge on how babies are made? Well, that does sound rather entertaining. No, not that. My apologies. Honestly, I have no answer. It's difficult to picture something I've never experienced before. However, the concept of studying and then being acknowledged for that studying, yes. An ordinary student might get to experience something like that. I'd want to see what the others would say, but there is a certain appeal. There's the possibility of doing poorly as well. I suppose so. Would you give us makeup classes if that were to happen? It seems like a win-win situation to me. But why? I was at Trinity. I met some transfer students from Arius. Oh? I understand the situation. They were worried about you. Thank you for telling me. Actually, Sensei, perhaps it'd be best to speak about this in person. You're right. We could be wiretapped. That's not what I was referring to at all. Huh. Then what? As I said, it'd be best that way. I want to be able to see you face to face when we talk about this, and with everyone else as well. I'll find a good place for us to meet. I guess before, including me. 5, actually. 5? I see. I understand. Are you sure? Of course. We're hardly that strange from Sao Sao. We meet from time to time. Also, it's a bit presumptuous of me, but I believe it's time for her journey of self-discovery to come to an end. Doesn't she get any input? Misaki always adopts such a formal expression whenever sorry is mentioned. And she's also the one who brings her up the most. It is true that she may simply leave us again. However, for something like this, I'd like for all of us to be together. Tsuko. You've gotten really good at asking for favors. Is that a bad thing? Not at all? You think I'll really flourish if I hone my skills? Well, thank you, Sensei. I'll try not to use my power too much. After all, the helpless tend to garner resentment. I can count on you for help with Sao Sao, though, yes? I never deny a request from my students. Yes, the world revolves around the principle of give and take. Thank you. I'm glad we have you, Sensei. Hey, there they all are! Well, 3 of them anyway. Huh? Is this a giant ship? I guess so. Why do you seem just as confused, Sensei? What's going on here? I saw this in a magazine once. It's called a cruise ship, I think. A cruise ship? Yeah, they're not really made to get from point A to point B, but for luxury and entertainment. They have things like restaurants and amusement parks on board the ship. They also have things like artificial hot springs and swimming pools, so you can do all sorts of things during the trip. I obviously don't know anything about them, but apparently ticket prices are beyond even the dreams of peasants like us. There's a swimming pool on top of a ship that's on top of water? That's paradoxical in more ways than one. Putting that aside, why are we even here? Sensei, this was your doing. Explain. I don't know either. I was told that a sponsor would come meet us. I came here under the same circumstances as you. What? A sponsor? I know what's happening. I read about this in a magazine. We've been kidnapped for the octopus games, haven't we? Is that supposed to be a reference to the Squid Games? I've never seen Squid Games before, but that's funny. It is Squid Games. We'll be forced to kill each other. The last one standing wins 4.5 billion yen. All the while rich people will watch us slaughter each other for entertainment. We're doomed. Completely doomed. I'm sorry for ever wanting anything. I'm sorry for existing. Is this true, Sensei? Everyone, please calm down. Don't you trust Sensei? And on a more logical level, Sensei would never participate in such a thing, seeing as they wouldn't last past the first round. Really? Is that really all true? That's Saori. That girl. Saori? Oh my. You're the sponsor leader? No, I'm not. I also just... Right, that would be impossible. Completely impossible, actually. Leader isn't capable of such a thing. What? You're right, but the way you said it didn't feel great either. Well, I don't care how long it's for. While you're here, I'm giving you back your position, leader. Let's at least evaluate and understand the situation first. But sorry, we'll be together when we die, right? Right? Oh boy. Let's start with why you asked us all to meet here, Sensei. It's best to review the facts when things seem uncertain. So, this is the situation. I see. A test. What do you want us to do, Sensei? And I don't want to hear any noise about respecting our choices, understood? The only way to sort out this mess is with transparency. Okay, in that case, I want you all to experience taking a test too. Why is everyone so tense all of a sudden? Well, I'm sure there's a lot to this story. I'd like to start with your reasoning. So he wants to experience what it means to be a student. Us and the students back in Arius? Students back in Arius? What does that mean, Sensei? I told them about my meeting with the transfer students in Trinity. The transition must have been difficult for them. No matter how well they were treated, being in a new world is intimidating. There are times you feel scared for reasons you can't identify, or other times in your unusual set ways or dealing with things that don't work. I'd say it's a good description of how they were. You must be able to relate, Saori. We've lived similar stories after all. Sensei, I have a question. I've heard that studying is an inherent responsibility of any student. However, what is the purpose behind it? We did experience them in a way. Studying, exams. The curriculum focused mostly on different methods to kill and maim. We were tested on resolve to pull the trigger in any situation without hesitation. I really don't want to do that again. Me neither, Hiyori. None of us do, right? However, that doesn't answer the question either. Why is studying necessary for any of us to do? I suppose one might say we need to study hard, score well, and get a good job in the future. And people want to secure a good job so they can make more money, right? However, such motivations don't apply to us. Did you know, Sensei? If it's just to make money, we can make more than enough from what we learn at Arius. How exactly? Well, I don't know how people found out about our background, but sometimes we get requests to, kill people. And we always immediately say no and tell them to shoo. The expression "break a halo" is more commonly a figurative phrase, so we didn't use it often in Arius. It only came up during conversations about the outside, or sometimes we would speak about the outsiders, or to make fun of something. Yeah, in Arius we had a much simpler expression: to kill. We were surprised that people in the outside world use it more often than we would have anticipated. Although, it meant something a little different to them. They would use it as a joke, because the thought of it was so impossible to them. But not for us. For us, kill meant to kill. That was it. Perhaps at Arius we knew, tread closer to death than anywhere else in the Kivotos. So, Sensei, tell us, why should a student study? If it's to get better jobs or make more money, then there are other ways. If we're willing to cross the line, there are innumerable paths we could take to reach the same objective. It's because the student's responsibility is to learn how to fight against the world. What? I never considered that. Explain, please, Sensei. Studying is the process of learning something I don't know, and the entire world is one big something I don't know. I understand. Like how being ignorant of contracts and how they work makes you an easy target. How insightful. I have no rebuttal, Sensei. If I had done my due diligence, the odds of being stiffed and my pay would decrease, perhaps even disappear entirely. So that's how you can fight against this world. With knowledge. Knowledge of how society came to be or how to operate within it. It can help us understand conflicting perspectives. As we've seen, it can be impossible to persuade someone to see things the way you want them to. So you think we should look into understand what and comprehend compromise first? We can recognize, evaluate, and reduce risk from others by expanding our knowledge and understanding of the world. Knowledge is a weapon of self-defense. I guess I can see where you're coming from. So I guess that's something we're gonna need to survive out here. And the students back at Arius need that the most. Which is why I went above and beyond and asked one more student to join us today. Huh? Is that student the sponsor of this meeting? Aha, so that's what happened, Sensei. Are you sure? You should have told us if you knew that. Forget it. Never mind. So who is the student? I hope you've been well, Arius Squad. Who's this? Who's that? Hey, it's not Nagi! I'm Kirifuji Nagisa, tea party host and sponsor of this meeting. What? Oh my. The Last Supper. Where are we at? I think I got time for like one more, right? I can do one more. The sponsor was Kirifuji Nagisa, of all people? Explain yourself. I wasn't warned of this. Goodbye, cruel world. We're gonna be abducted and taken to Trinity. Probably tortured. Still take my fingernails, please. Hiyori, we no longer do such things. No longer? She had the same reaction. What the fuck does that mean? That would imply that you once did. Arius Apocrypha must have been true. Oh boy. Sensei? Sensei? Let's all take a deep breath. Neither Nagisa nor I have any ill intent. You expect us to believe that? Oh boy. Then, shall we start over? It's a pleasure to see you again, Arius Squad. I'm Kirifuji Nagisa, the host of Tea Party. Hello, Nagisa. I'm Hikari Atsuko of the Arius Squad. Pleasure is all ours. I'm happy to formally meet you. Imashino Misaki. I'm Tsuchinaga Hiyori. Jomai Saori. I expect you know of me at the very least. No, not just you. I know all of you, if only through reports and hearsay. And the nature of our past makes you not knowing me an impossibility. You get right to the point, don't you? Enough, Misaki. Let's not pass up this opportunity to speak candidly with each other. So please, you as well, Saori. Fine. Understood. Well then, with introductions out of the way, shall we proceed inside? What? Inside the ship? Yes, of course. I rented this cruise ship for the day, so please don't worry about prying eyes. Jesus Christ, you rented the whole fucking cruise ship? You rented this entire ship? Isn't that a little overboard? Why? The ship will remain docked the entire time. It's not as if I had to hire a sailing crew. This much is well within budget. Now then, Jesus Christ, what budget are you using? This is its own kind of nightmare. Actually, I wish this was a nightmare. I mean, adulthood is scarier than this. They do operate in a different world from us in more ways than one. What do we do here? Let's accept their hospitality for the time being. Excellent. Let's follow her then. Atsuko seems the most rational of all four of them. Or all five of them. You're relieved that at least I'm taking this well? You see, it's rare to see you so baffled, which led me to believe that these circumstances must truly be unusual ones. If we are really already beyond our wild expectations, it would be wise to simply bend with the wind, yes? If Atsuko can do it, so can I! Whoa. Is anyone hungry? This restaurant has no menu, so please instead order whatever your heart desires. Just order anything I want? How can someone operate a restaurant without a designated menu? No, Misaki. This is the mark of their culinary pride. We're confident they can really make anything. Is that how it is? I wasn't aware this was even possible. Is this meant to be our last supper? This is just the last supper? What do you mean? Only wanted us to share a meal. Miss Nagisa, I'd like to apologize. We're not very used to places like this. Can we leave the order to you? Of course, Atsuko. Excuse me, ready order. Understood, Miss Nagisa. As you wish. Well then. Chorus after chorus came out, filled with types of dishes I'd never seen before, let alone even tried. For Nagisa, this seemed to be just another normal meal. The rest of us were so overwhelmed by the unfamiliar foods, we couldn't even process all the different tastes. That is, except for one person. Atsuko? Or not, no, Hiyori? So good! Hiyori? It's really talking a mouthful. Sorry, it's just so delicious. So many flavors I've never tasted. I'm happy to hear that. Please help yourself with there's more than enough. Did anyone enjoy their meal? It was incredible. Thanks. Really. I agree. I felt almost guilty eating something so luxurious. Maybe we can get a box for takeout. Well, instead, stand Iori how you feeling, it'll be best to exercise some moderation, Iori. Shall we have some tea to help digest our meal? I brought with me tea leaves from Brennings. It's one of my favorite brands. It's already prepared for you, my lady. No, thank you. I'll do it myself. It'll only take a moment. Nagisa brewed the black tea with the practiced air, precise and exacting in her process. It wasn't long before they could smell the delicious aroma of black tea. There we go, all done. While not quite up to my usual standard, I do hope you'll enjoy. It's so warm. Makes me feel fuzzy. This reminds me of water time back at Arius. Ah, yeah, we did have that. Water time? It was a rare treat, but they'd sometimes award a cup of warm water to whoever performed the best during training that day. It'd be around this time of year, usually. Warm water? Whenever I got it, I would savor with the tiniest sips. But then it'd get cold. It's funny how it was just lukewarm. It was just some lukewarm water. It was somehow the yummiest thing in the world. Miss Nagisa, my lady, your majesty. Anyways, your tea is a million times better than doing some boring old cup of water, of course. Thank you. Please feel free to call me Nagisa. I was actually the one who asked Sensei to help arrange this meeting. You contacted Sensei first? How did you know? 2 transfer students were the only ones Sensei spoke to. So, if I could explain... No, Sensei, I believe this would be best coming from me. Or at least, this is why I wanted to have this meeting. Where shall I begin? Attorney's Intelligence Committee works tirelessly to achieve excellent results. So you knew about them before Sensei even did. And considering you made first contact, you have all the transfers from Arius under surveillance, don't you? You see... And now leave to Sensei. But the baton touch might be a little too early, but I hope you don't mind. Sensei? It's okay, Nagisa. Sometimes you have to rely on me. And I confirmed everything you told me already. I'll leave it to you then. You're right. Every transfer student has a Trinity student assigned to them. But they're there to help them adjust, not to monitor them. The transfer students were actually the ones who told their Trinity counterparts about our meeting. And I'm just supposed to believe that? I understand I'm asking you for a lot. There are too many broken bridges between our schools, and I am a member of the Tea Party. But still, can you trust this teacher of yours at least? I can. You're a Sensei, you know. Hiyori. But Sensei's helped us a lot. They could have called Valkyrie on us anytime they wanted. They could do it right now. We'd be locked up deep in the Corrections Bureau. Or somewhere even more terrifying. Wait, were you pretending to be nice to us all this time? Biding your time to pretend to drag us away? After everything we've been through, this is finally the end. Life was nothing but pain and suffering. All is in vain. So I might as well finish this black tea before you lock me up. Oh boy. Sensei? Is she? Don't worry. That's our Hiyori. Don't pay her too much mind. If you say so. I should focus on what I came here to do. Yes, you're correct. This entire endeavor would have been for naught if I didn't fulfill my objective. All I would like to say is something. I will not lie to you and pretend that my presence here today is merely in a personal capacity. It's the nature of holding the title of Tea Party host. Whatever I do will be open to interpretation, and whatever I say will be scrutinized for its true intent. So, I would like to formally and sincerely apologize to each one of you. Huh? What are you? Earlier you said that whatever you do will be open to interpretation, and whatever you say will be scrutinized for its true intent. Could I ask you to elaborate, Nagisa? I would expect you to. However, it is as I said, as a Tea Party host and a Trinity student, and as the one who currently represents Trinity, I apologize to you all and to the Arius Satellite School. But why? We acted against Trinity first, did we not? Yes, I know that the Arius Squad was at the forefront of that incident. However, I also know the long, twisted road that led us there. Arius and his Trinity's problems did not begin with us. After the Council, Trinity and Arius devolved into what we are now. But today, looking at the relationship, there are ways in which we are closer than the other schools in Kavotos. And you suddenly just woke up one day and had a conscience about all that? Misaki, it's okay. You're well within your rights to feel that way. Trinity should never have banned Arius. Their only crime was a difference in perspective. I believe I've also been personally guilty of neglecting those who were suffering around me. I blamed it on politics and circumstances. If I can reach out my hand to those who are still suffering, I wish to do so. I don't buy it. Seriously? I don't want to sit here and sift through the past. Well, let me be blunt. Were you, Kirifuji Nagisa, not the victim of the Eden Tree incident? And you can hardly deny that we were the perpetrators of said incident. So why are you, the victim, apologizing? You can see why you can see why that'd be weird to us. When people's actions don't make sense to you, it means they know something you don't. Enough, Misaki. I mean, she's not technically, she's not wrong. I mean, she does have a point. Please, it's okay. I understand your concerns. I truly do. I can offer two answers. One more palatable, the other difficult to accept. What would the palatable answer be? Well, if my apology alone was it all it took to quell the Trinity student body's lingering anxieties regarding Arius, it'd be quite the keen political maneuver on my part to give one. You should have been honest in the beginning. Now, let's hear her out, Misaki. So, whatever your more complicated answer. Allow me to tell a story of a student who leads the Tea Party in Trinity. After experiencing a particular harrowing incident called the Eden Treaty, she spent much time reflecting upon what had gone wrong. In her need for answers, she began digging into records of the past. Some were so confidential that even as a member of the Tea Party, she had difficulty finding them. But she was seized by an overwhelming need to understand everything that had happened. Later, as she was gazing down at the Trinity campus at all the students living out their first peaceful lives, the answer finally dawned on her. In order for both schools to move forward, the relationship could not stay as it was. What Trinity did was wrong. And so, should it not be Trinity who reaches out at their hand reconciliation first, whether it be grasped or cut off? Reminds me of a freakishly strong pink princess. Yes, perhaps it was that very princess that helped this student finally open her eyes. Then me as well. As one of royal blood, and perhaps the one closest to the role of student council president, on behalf of Arius Satellite School, I'd like to apologize for the terrorism we committed against you. I do appreciate it, truly. However, the apologies spoken here will be hardly enough to resolve the years of conflict between our schools. I'd like the opportunity to one day apologize to the transfer students living in Trinity, as well as to those who remain in Arius. A certain teacher once taught me something. Apologies hold no weight without also taking responsibility, and such responsibility must be upheld with action. I agree with that sentiment. I have much to apologize for as well. But let's not waste any more time on platitudes. Why did you want to meet with us? I take it you had a different objective than just bowing your head. You've gone to great lengths just for the chance to apologize and tell us you've grown. Yes, well said, Saori. Allow me to usher along this meeting's agenda. Now, I'm sure Sensei has already spoken to you about exams. Do you mean? Yes. Perhaps this is the arrogance on my part, but I share Sensei's sentiment. I wish for everyone from Arius to have the opportunity to hold their heads high in society, if they wish so. It's very kind. Thank you, Nagisa. I was concerned that you would see this as patronizing or controlling. Because behind every altruistic act lies the possibility of being motivated by a subconscious feeling of superiority. For one to believe that they alone know best, and to judge the others should live as they see fit. That was never your intention, was it, Nagisa? Atsuko. I believe such awareness around one's actions begets trust in its own way. Doesn't it, Misaki? You're not wrong. I actually don't even care if you do think like that. So, it's okay. It's me, at least. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your hospitality thus far. So, what is it you like for the squad and a sensei to do? I haven't even broached. How did you? This may sound arrogant, but this is what they call street smarts. Leader, you actually looked quite cool saying that. But it still counts as a strike, Sao Sao. I figured as much. A strike to what? Alright, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up here, because we get that time. So when we come back, we will continue our discussions. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you then. Later.